Yo, what's crackin', boys? It's me, Daily Tactics here, and today we are back with some more Men of War Assault Squad 2, the Star Wars Galaxy at War mod, and today the clone troopers are trying out a new tactic. Well, a new tactic to them, not so much a new tactic in the history of military, because this is, in fact, a very old tactic dating back from, like, 300 BCE from the Macedonian Empire. This is, of course, the Phalanx wall formation. It's the style of the Phalanx wall formation. So essentially, we have the shield clone troopers here with their weapons, and then we have them backed up by clone troopers behind them with DC-15A rifles. So this is supposed to be, you know, obviously the shield, and then this is like the pikemen in the Phalanx formation. This is, of course, first developed in the Macedonian army, like I said, by Philip II, and then later taken even farther and more masterfully done by his son Alexander the Great to conquer much of Persia and Greece. So essentially, I thought it would be fun to do this in Star Wars because it's a goofy thing to do. We have a bunch of shield walls lined up all across the city, blocking off a lot of the alleyways and things like that. We also have free roaming troopers up on the rooftops and amongst the city folk here. They're just sort of spread out, and they're going to be moving around the pikemen, similar to how Alexander the Great used to have like slingers and archers running around the pikemen in and out of the Phalanx formation to try and draw the enemy in to their spear wall. So that's sort of the idea here. The droids are attacking. They have every weapon under the sun to try and break these shield walls, but it will be a tough nut to crack because of all the choke points and, of course, the shieldmen for the clones. Either way, guys, be sure to hit that like button if you enjoy. Let's try and get 1,500 likes in the first 24 hours. Subscribe if you haven't already. We're going to be doing a big Lego giveaway at 200,000 subscribers, and comment down below if you'd like me to do any other ancient tactics or anything like that. Either way, let's get into it. Hey guys, what's going on? Daily Tactics here, and real quick before this video begins, I wanted to let you know about instant gaming. It's something I've talked about quite often on the channel. It's an awesome place to go and get really good deals on video games that you are interested in. They have tons of deals on Star Wars games, like up to 90% off. Men of War Assault Squad 2 is super cheap on here. XCOM 2 is super cheap on here. It's totally legit. I use it myself. Link will be in the description below if you want to go and just peruse, or if you see something you like, feel free to use my link to get it for yourself. So yeah, thank you so much to Instant Gaming for sponsoring this video, and thank you to you guys for listening to this ad read, and I hope you enjoy the remainder of the video. Alright, boys, let's get this going and watch these shield walls in action. So we're pressing start right now, and the droid should begin marching forward, and it's only a matter of time before the shield walls start a-blasting. I did, of course, give the shield bearers more health, because, you know, the shields are more cosmetic than anything in this game, so you kind of have to give them more health to actually make them act like real shields and absorb more damage, that sort of thing. Either way, it seems like the Phalanx wall is, instead of, you know, sort of standing up over here, getting on its belly, these guys are doing a little bit better by crouching, I suppose, but I guess a lot of the clones, instead of actually standing and fighting, choose to lay down. Maybe they think it gives them more cover. Their shields are still fairly effective, and their quote-unquote pikemen behind them are still able to fire over the shields. However, it doesn't look nearly as epic as if, you know, they were standing or crouching or whatever. A few of them are doing the crouch, which is cool, but obviously the AI has other intentions than to follow my strategy, but it'll still be a pretty cool battle nonetheless. Either way, that first shield wall is almost completely destroyed. There's one trooper, and he dies. The curse of the daily. Any trooper I look at immediately dies. That one over there also ended up dying. A lot of the troopers up on the rooftops are getting slain by the droids, but there are still a few alive. Those guys are pretty valuable because they'll be able to grenade down below if the droids get close enough. Of course, they have to live in order to have that happen, though. How are the droids doing themselves? They've taken actually quite a few losses from what it looks like here, but their initial sort of entrance into this battle has been very bombastic, and it has managed to kill quite a number of clone troopers in these shield walls. So It's looking promising for the droids and for the clones. It's a pretty even battle so far. We have this little shield wall over here, which is doing a great job. It's managing to kill any droid that rounds up this hillside, as well as protecting its right flank. But, you know, that is going to result in a bit of a pincer movement in just a bit as these droids on the right come even closer. They're not going to be able to stop them, and then these droids will be able to come up and over the top. If the droids really want to break this shield wall, all they need to do is a simple grenade, and bada bing, it is absolutely done for. It is donezo. And of course, having blasters kind of defeats the purpose of the shield wall. The purpose of the shield wall is to, you know, keep your enemy at a distance, and not have them be able to come charge you in a melee attack because of that, and slowly, you know, decimate them with your spear. However, both sides having blasters, there's, you know, no way for the clones to draw in the enemy into their shield wall, so it doesn't exactly work super well, but there can be something to say behind the clones, you know, being able to utilize shields to prevent the droids from, you know, coming too close to them, and also to deflect blaster fire that's incoming and allow their, you know, quote-unquote pikemen to fire without the threat of death too bad. It's basically portable cover in this instance, so you know, it's still very effective. Nonetheless, even if it's a little less effective than the ancient method of shield walling, it's still somewhat effective. It kind of reminds me of that game, Shield Wall, which came out rather recently, actually. Such a fun game. That game is an absolute blast. If you haven't played it, I highly recommend it. It's basically like a, you know, cartoony Roman battle simulator where you get to play as Caesar taking over the Gauls, and you know, you gather your army, you get upgrades for your army, and you run around. It's super fun. I played a little bit of it on my second channel, Daily Productions, if you want to check that out. But you know, essentially, you do use a shield wall Roman formation, so it's not quite the you know, Alexander the Great Phalanx pikeman formation, but you do have shields and swords, and you're prodding at each other from behind your shield wall. You can do like testudo formation. Oh, that'd be a cool one if we did Clone Wars testudo. Although that would be really hard to do because you can't really make the AI raise the shield above their heads, you know. We'd have to figure out another way to do it. Maybe we could build the testudo out of blocks. Well, then it would just be a bunker, essentially. Then it wouldn't really be a testudo, would it? I don't even know. I'm trying to think of all these old, you know, ancient tactics or methods of warfare that we could incorporate into Metaphor Assault Squad 2 somehow, but it's kind of hard to think of them. We could do line battles. That's something I used to do on Daily Productions, actually. No, not Daily Productions, Daily Gaming, my old YouTube channel that no longer is active. We used to do line battles, you know, like, you know, Revolutionary War line battles, or, you know, that sort of old school musket warfare that used to occur quite often in Europe. We did a number of those, which were pretty fun. They were very similar to this, except for without the shield, and of course both sides were in lines. It just didn't really work super well because, again, you know, the troopers always sort of end up on their stomachs. I don't know how to program the AI to not go on their stomachs. I wish there was a way we could just say, like, you're never allowed to lay down. You know, that would solve that problem, obviously. I mean, these guys are doing it okay. Crouching is better than nothing, but, you know, obviously that's the small minority of troopers here. Most of them are just laying on their stomachs. There is this massive shield wall over here, which is getting slowly but surely eaten at by the droids. The droids are sort of able to use this building to only fire at a small section of them at a time, which limits, of course, the return fire that the droids have to take on, and thus the droids are able to eat away at this shield wall line. Pretty brilliant tactic. Of course, they're going to have to deal with these guys, and I don't know if they'll be able to use that building to the same effect with these guys since they're a little bit tighter in, but we'll just have to see. The droids, of course, have not even really entered into the city yet. They're still sort of dawdling around on the outside, although the majority of the clone defenses are on the outside, so it does make sense that this would be the toughest nut to crack. But the fact that they've taken so many losses on the exterior of the city is leading me to believe that they might not be able to pull off the entirety of this battle. They have you know, fewer and fewer troopers left alive by the end of this thing, and it's not looking too good. They do have a pretty hefty lot here, but they're not really working together too much, you know? Maybe we should go ahead and squad them up right now. Let's squad up the droids, so this will make them you know, work in conjunction with each other. I'm not helping the droids. It's merely, you know, something we do in the battles usually a little bit later on, but we'll do it now. So this will just make it so the droids work together a little bit more rather than working as a solo unit. And it can actually be kind of detrimental because it can lead to some droids suiciding their units in, but at the same time it can also lead to droids, you know, using teamwork and taking on hard-to-take positions together rather than alone. So it's a double-edged sword, and I'm not sure if it'll work for the droids, but we will see. A lot of the free-roaming clone troopers are actually coming forward. They're pushing the advantage and assaulting the droids. I have to say it's a bit of a mistake, as we can see that a lot of these guys are getting gunned down pretty steadily, and they're getting grenaded now. It's just not working out for these clone troopers who are, you know, pushing that advantage and doing an assault. However, you know what? I like to see the initiative. There's not a lot of gains to be had here by just yeeting your men forward, but hey, it makes you look tough. I like the initiative. Ooh, that's a big loss right there. That chain gunner going down. Absolutely hate to see it there, lads. Hate to see it. Not a good look for the clone trooper army. They've got a couple more in here, but, you know, that's a big loss. Chain gunners are very, very valuable. The droids seem to be pushing straight down the middle here. Probably not the best option because they're susceptible to flanks from the right as well as the left, especially with these clones now getting a little bit more cocky and willing to actually come out of the woodwork and attack. It means the droids could get squashed in some pretty nasty pincer movements if they're not too careful. Not to mention they have significantly less troopers than what they started with, so things ain't looking too good. To be completely honest, I think these droids here are within grenading range of these troopers. I mean, it doesn't look that far. They could probably yeet a couple of thermal detonators over the edge of that sand dune there. Just like that! Yes! Oh, see? What a good tactic. Just do a few more of those, actually time it correctly so the clones take a beating from them, and bada bing, you've broken through the shield wall. That's all the droids got to do, but, you know, it seems like they're struggling with that quite a bit. Only one droid was smart enough to actually yeet that grenade over there, and after that, it was, no more granatas, and the droids, that was all they wrote. That was it. They decided, hey, no more granata. We do not do the granata. No granata for Soviet droid army. Okay, there's also these sniper clones up here who have a phalanx on top of a hill. This is pretty BA, if you ask me. That's dope. I like that a lot. Some of these free-roaming clones, once again, getting a little bit cocky and moving out to try and assault the droids. And actually, that guy just got a kill, and now he's standing in the middle of the crossfire. There you go. Move away. Nope, he died. That might be the dumbest clone I have ever seen in my life. What was that? What was that? Well, the droids have seriously dwindled down in terms of numbers. We'll squad up once again because the squads got kind of torn apart there in the last part of that assault. They've got about, 2 or 3 squads left here. Not a lot. I don't think it's doable at this point. I think the clone phalanx formation is too powerful, you know? And I really think it, you know, maybe the shields help a little bit because they do have bolstered health and whatnot, and it does allow for the DC-15A clone troopers to get more fire off, you know? So it might be somewhat helpful to have the phalanx formation, but I think the big benefit of it is not the shields, but in fact that the clones are very consolidated in this line. I think it makes for almost like a firing squad type of a thing, and it just makes the clone line super mega powerful, you know? The droids just can't compete with such firepower all in a row, and they might be able to kill a few of the clones in that phalanx formation, but the vast majority of the clones will live through it. Wow, that entire squad of clones just got absolutely kapooyad by that squad of droids. That's a tough loss right there. Wow. Those guys just really... they took a beating. Look at this clone. He was destined for greatness, but he died, and so did his friend. Wow, this droid squad is like a hit squad. They're going one after another on these clones. Wow, that clone didn't even get the kill. I bet this droid's like one shot. He's got no health. Yeah, that clone just needed to fire a little bit more and it would have died. Oh my god. We got this guy up on the rooftops there. I like the rooftop thing. Maybe we should do a whole battle in this city where clones are just on the rooftops. That'd be pretty cool. I do have to say that'd be pretty cool. The droids have almost destroyed this phalanx formation. There's only one clone left in it. That's hardly a phalanx. That's just a clone. All alone. Standing by himself. But he went down with a bang. He got some good fire out, so good for him. Good for him. Oh, more droids attacking here. I mean, the droids are working through the city at this point. Ooh, granada! Oh, that took out both of those droids. Hate to see it. Wow. Yeah, the droids are making it into the city a little bit more. They've taken out hundreds of clones at this point in the battle, but I just don't think they have enough troopers to actually make this thing happen. They might get a few more kills, and we've sort of been seeing that in action. They are scrapping a few more clones. They're beating up these bros, but you know, I think it's only a matter of time before the clones end up just squashing the droids, and the droids submit to the power of the clone army. What is this guy doing? You, sir, are very derpy. We've been doing so many of those realistic Clone Wars battles where we give everyone like 1 health that I'm always shocked by how much damage a unit can take when you give them the normal amount of health in Men of War. Like, the normal amount of health in Men of War, it takes sometimes 10 shots to kill, depending on the weapon, of course. If it's a DC-15X, that, you know, it can be a one-shot potentially. But, like, it's such a drastic difference from the one-shot kill mechanic that we've been doing in the realistic Clone Wars battles. Like, so many units take so much more damage than we're used to. It's kind of crazy. So the droids are attacking this choke point right now. The clones are a little far away to make it a complete choke point, you know, a super dominating choke point. But they are managing to get a lot of fire off even at a range and are killing many of these droids. The droids are getting a little bit of fire out at the clones, but it's not really enough to be super devastating to the clone trooper units that are up on this hillside here. And I doubt these clones even take a loss at the end of this battle. I mean, they took a few earlier on, but I don't think the droids have enough to really get another clone kill, I bet. Yeah, they just took out that droid machine gunner. All right, we have like 4 droids left. Let's yeet them into this massive phalanx over here. Actually, this massive phalanx got chewed at pretty bad. All right. Yeah, and they're getting shredded. That's about it for the droids. Wow! Well, this was a very fun battle. I liked it a lot. Oh, there's 1 droid left. Here, buddy, you have a kill, actually. Yeah, you retreat back. You deserve to live, if you can make it. Ooh! He made it. Nice job, buddy. Yeah, I love these kind of goofier battles. I think they're really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed them, too. Let's see. So, yellow are dead clone troopers, red are dead droids. The clones died big time here. They took a lot of losses. I mean, probably 200 clones, maybe? That's a lot. That's a significant number of clone troopers. Of course, the droids took more losses. The Phalanx is a dominant formation, I'm telling you. Even in sci-fi, the Phalanx is formidable, boys. It's formidable. So this was a pretty epic battle. I enjoyed it a lot. I hope you guys did too. Be sure to like the video if you haven't already. Subscribe if you haven't already. Comment down below what you thought, what you'd like to see next. If you haven't seen it, I have a second channel called Daily Productions where I upload Battle Simulator gameplay. I have a Twitch channel if you want to check that out. I have a Patreon if you want to support me there by donating. I have merch if you want to buy that. Link in the description below for instant gaming, for cheap games. I have a Discord. I have a Steam thing. I have Instagram where I post every day. I have a Twitter account. I have all of the things, boys. I don't know why I'm listing these all off, but just in case any of you guys feel like follow me elsewhere, I'd appreciate it, you know. You got to get those verticals, boys. You got to get those verticals. It's marketing. Either way, guys, thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Stay safe out there. Peace. I hope you guys enjoyed that video. Be sure to click that subscribe button for more content, and hit the notification bell if you'd like to be alerted to whenever I live stream or upload. Thanks so much.